Maya is still wearing her work badge when the salesperson slides the trade-in sheet across the glass desk. Her old car has a problem. It runs fine. The payment is current, but the loan balance is bigger than the car's value, and that gap wants a new home. Maya came in for a smaller SUV, something safer for winter commutes. She did not come in looking for a $900 monthly payment. Edmund says buyers rolling negative equity into a new loan paid an average of $932 a month in Q1 2026. That number is not just about a pricey vehicle. It is yesterday's depreciation, today's interest rate, and tomorrow's paycheck sharing one invoice. Edmunds also reported that $932 was $159 higher than the typical car buyer's monthly payment during the same quarter. Here is the trap. The dealership can make the old loan disappear on paper, but the debt does not vanish. It gets rolled into the next loan, like packing one suitcase inside another until the handle starts bending. Experian reported the average new vehicle loan amount reached $43,925 in Q1 2026, with the average payment at $770. Maya's first quote starts with the vehicle price. Then comes tax, fees, add-ons, and the balance still owed on her trade. Before you trade, consider asking for two numbers in writing, the payoff quote and the realistic trade-in value. The difference is your negative equity. Treat it like debt with a forwarding address, not a discount the dealer is absorbing. Cox Automotive estimated April 2026's average new car loan rate at 9.45%, with a typical monthly payment of $757. Now add Maya's old balance to a loan priced in that rate environment. The payment starts climbing before she chooses heated seats. Cox also put the average new vehicle transaction price at $49,461 in April 2026, before the personal trade-in math hits. The salesperson does not have to be villainous. The system rewards monthly payment thinking because monthly payments feel smaller than total debt. This is where smart, busy people get squeezed. Not because they ignored math, but because the math arrived one layer at a time. Experian found 35.55% of new vehicle loans in Q1 2026 ran longer than 6 years, up from 30.83% 1 year earlier. Longer terms can lower the monthly number, but they may also keep the borrower underwater longer if the vehicle depreciates faster. One approach is to stress test the same deal at 60 months and 72 months before discussing anything longer. If the payment only works when the loan stretches past 6 years, that is not flexibility. It may be a warning light. The New York Fed said auto loan balances reached $1.685 trillion in Q1 2026, with $182 billion in new loans that quarter. Maya is not an outlier. She is part of a national balance sheet that keeps getting heavier, one commute at a time. Consider calculating transportation as a full category: payment, insurance, fuel, maintenance, parking, tolls, and expected repairs. A $932 payment does not ask whether the water heater breaks, childcare rises, or overtime gets cut. Experian's Melinda Zabritsky said affordability continues to shape financing decisions across the automotive market. Translation: households are not just choosing cars. They are choosing loan structures that decide how much breathing room survives payday. If you are shopping, consider negotiating the vehicle price first, then the trade value, then the financing terms separately. Bundling everything into one monthly target makes it harder to see which lever is costing you the most. Exhale, Maya asks the question that changes the room. What is the total amount financed after my trade-in? That number is the truth serum. It shows whether the new loan is buying a car, burying an old mistake, or both. One practical rule: if negative equity is involved, consider delaying the trade until the gap shrinks if your current vehicle remains reliable. Waiting is not glamorous, but neither is paying interest on a car you no longer drive. New York Fed researchers said delinquency transition rates were mostly steady in Q1 2026, even as household debt balances rose slightly. Steady delinquencies do not mean every household feels steady. Stress usually shows up first as fewer dinners out and delayed repairs. Run a simple cash flow test. After the car payment clears, can you still fund emergencies, retirement contributions, and known annual expenses? If the answer is no, consider a cheaper vehicle, a larger down payment, or keeping the current car longer. Notice what is missing from that list, hoping rates fall fast enough to rescue an expensive decision. Experian said consumers who refinanced auto loans in Q1 2026 cut rates by 2 percentage points on average. Experian also reported those refinancers saved an average of $81 per month, though fees and remaining term length still matter. Refinancing may help if your credit improved or rates moved lower, but compare total cost, not just monthly relief. Stretching the term during a refinance can lower the payment while keeping you in debt longer. That trade-off deserves daylight. Ask any lender for the remaining month's new months, interest rate, fees, and total finance charge before signing. Maya's refinance window might open later, but the purchase decision happens now, under bright lights and time pressure. If you feel rushed, consider leaving the store. A legitimate deal should survive one night of clear thinking. The payment trap works because it never looks like a trap, it looks like approval. Softly, approval feels good, but approval only means the lender is willing. It does not mean your budget is comfortable. Build your own approval standard. Consider a payment that still leaves room for savings, deductibles, and one bad month. Experian reported longer-term growth across new vehicles as affordability pressure shaped financing behavior in Q1 2026. For Maya, the near $1,000 payment is not one bad choice. It is a chain: depreciation, trade timing, price, rate, term. Break the chain before you negotiate. Know your credit score range, loan payoff, trade value, target price, and monthly ceiling. Your monthly ceiling should come from your household plan, not from the highest number a lender offers. A warm favor: if this helps you avoid one expensive signature, like or subscribe so we can keep these plain English breakdowns coming. When comparing offers, consider getting pre-approved through a bank or credit union before walking into the store. Pre-approval may not beat every dealer offer, but it gives you a benchmark. Benchmarks are powerful when emotions get expensive. Cox Automotive said April affordability worsened slightly as higher vehicle prices and loan rates outweighed income growth. That is the bigger story. Paychecks can rise, but if prices and rates rise faster, affordability still gets worse. If you must roll negative equity, consider the smallest reliable vehicle that meets your needs, not the maximum vehicle approval allows. There is no shame in downsizing the dream. The goal is transportation without turning your paycheck into collateral. Emphasis: the strongest negotiating position is being willing to drive away in the car you already own. Before signing, sleep on 3 numbers: total financed, total interest, and the month when you expect to have positive equity. If the dealer cannot explain those numbers clearly, consider pausing. Confusion often benefits the party with the stronger paperwork. Maya steps outside and calls her sister. The SUV is beautiful, the payment is not. That pause may save more than a negotiation tactic. It may protect an emergency fund, a vacation, or the option to change jobs. Cars are emotional because they are freedom machines. But loans are contracts, and contracts do not care how excited you felt. New York Fed data showed $182 billion in new auto loans appeared on credit reports during Q1 2026. Every one of those loans becomes part of a household routine: payday, due date, insurance bill, maintenance appointment, repeat. Quick note: this is not financial advice. This content is for educational and informational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Always consult with a qualified financial advisor before making investment decisions. Here is your framework: identify the equity gap, isolate the loan terms, stress test cash flow, and compare total cost. Then decide whether the car solves a transportation problem or creates a budget problem wearing new paint. Maya chooses to leave. Not forever. Just until the numbers make sense outside the showroom glow. That is the move. Do not let yesterday's loan quietly write tomorrow's budget. Know the gap before the keys change hands. This has been Money Moves Daily. Keep your decisions clear, your math visible, and your payment smaller than your future.